Hey everybody, it's time for another real life superhero intro. Once again, this is another skinny jeans sweatsuit intro, only this is a semi-modern, semi-classic black and blue skinny jeans baggy skinny jeans sweatsuit look by the shirt I have underneath and the sweat jacket I have are from this decade and the previous decade, the 2010s and the 2020s. However, my skinny jeans here, my baggy blue FUBU skinny jeans are from 2006. Actually, 2006. They were big when I bought them. Now that I have like fully grown, they fit comfortably and normal. They fit comfortably without the assistance of a belt and another shirt underneath. So yeah. The zipper is not broken, but it's busted on on my grayish white skinny jeans sweat jacket. That outfit will still be worn, but for the time being, until I can get a new jacket or decide to wear that one again, this will be one of the preferred costumes for that, and this is the brand new intro associated with it. I could have just recorded this costume with the old intros, but I wanted this to match. The next videos I'm about to do, I wanted them to match. So that's what this is about. So yeah, musics will be the same. I'll start off with Jeff Hardy's "Modest to the Top." Then I think the band is called Knee-Flicks. Knee-Flicks, Something You Can Never Own, will be my grand entrance with the signature taunts associated with it. And I may do another version with the Knee-Flicks, Something You Can Never Own song playing first. Then I walk out to the Jeff Hardy theme, haven't decided yet. With that being said, let's get started right now.
To the top, like this, past the top, like this, past the top, still modest, past the top, straight to the top, but then keep heading up, you start shining the wildest yet never know what is real and how really still the only way to feel the there's a lot of time to get a showcase. It's what you will get over living on life. If I want to show how this style you got to life. Show the way to make it right. Make it to the top of my ambition. Until you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. To the top. Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate, finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, outside of my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back when I show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn back to games, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never run. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to games, let my money show. I've got Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and you like do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and you like do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own.
Alright, now it's time for my final cartoon haters rant of the night, and that is Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. Defenders of the Realm. I have a part 1 webcam version that I recorded 2 years ago, I think, that I never got around to uploading because I wanted to do a narration version first, but I decided to skip the narration and go straight webcam, off-camera webcam, off-camera webcam version. This is the larger, updated real-life superhero version, which it won't be much different from the previous version. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible, and you'll see more webcam stuff now that I know how. Then I can use a custom thumbnail to help people better identify and find the video more, just in case they don't understand from the title or the thumbnail from the film. They just might not recognize it from the thumbnail of the film, like this right here, my blank room. So with that being said, let me get started right now. Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. Just like Street Fighter and Double Dragon, another awesome cartoon I saw as a kid. The live action movies, the Malibu comics, which I never got to read until 2016. The Malibu comics, that's all anyone and myself had for lore outside of its video game counterpart. And those video games were super hard, so their storyline was even tougher than something like a Street Fighter. It was even tougher than, because those games where it was hard. It was extremely hard. So yeah, when I saw this as a kid, it's another instant classic. Even succeeded in areas where, in my opinion, the live action movies failed. Then watching it as a teenager, it wasn't a creative masterpiece. I remember being, mostly because I only watched a couple of episodes and saw The Witcher's stupidity collage. Then I watched every episode in chronological orders, 1 through 13, and man, I'm impressed. They got this much from once again a video game where once again the lore wasn't as strong as it was. Like, all you had was 3 video games, and in my opinion they got this much, and I consider this version alongside the newest Mortal Kombat anime movies, especially Battle of the Realms, to be the supreme best Mortal Kombats outside of their video game, the supreme best, the closest to the lore. This cartoon was bashed. I want to get this out the way already. This cartoon was unfairly bashed because it lacked the violence. It wasn't the violent bloodbath of this video game. Firstly, while Mortal Kombat was the biggest bloodbath to hit the arcades, even though the blood makes it unsuitable for children, teenagers, and young adults were buying this. Multiple older adults thought it was too violent and juvenile. So I can see why they would want to market Mortal Kombat to kids. Next, one thing I'm getting sick of: people not understanding. People to this day still don't understand it. All the fatalities, all the finishing maneuvers, all the blood and gore, it's for the enjoyment of the player. player. Most of that isn't canon. In Mortal Kombat 1 through 3, each one darker, scarier, and more creepier than the last. Actually, 1 through 4. Mortal Kombat 1 through 4, each one darker, creepier, and scarier than the last. Nobody dies. Nobody dies, and the characters who did die eventually came back in some form or another. And other deaths, like Melina and Shiva, were so quick and swift that I don't even remember them dying. I don't even remember them dying, or even learn them dying until much later. Yeah, in Mortal Kombat 1, everyone except for Sub-Zero, the Elder Sub-Zero, survived the battle. Everyone except for Sub-Zero, the Elder Sub-Zero, and a bunch of red shirt people who appear in the comic book prequel, but not the actual video game itself, on the island, died. No one from the main cast did. Mortal Kombat 2, only Melina died. In Mortal Kombat 3, only Shiva died. So all the blood and guts and fatalities, some of those fatalities aren't even possible. And from Mortal Kombat 1 through 4, they played out like a Saturday morning cartoon, comic book, movie, good versus evil plot with Liu Kang and the Realm of Earth led by Raiden always triumphing over evil, always triumphing over Shang Tsung, Goro, Khan, Kintaro, Motaro, Shinnok, and Quan Chi. It wasn't till Deadly Alliance where the bad guys started winning again, and Deadly Alliance was like 6 years after this cartoon had went off the air. The next was Dorkley's crappy review saying it was a Captain America influenced show. The only episode close to Captain America I thought was one of the best was Shang Tsung's return episode, where he used a mysterious orb to control the weather. They said it was a Captain Planet good versus evil plot. There was no Captain Planet. There was no Captain Planet in the good versus evil. That's how the video games played out. It was two sides battling each other. And it was battle for control of the realms. To this day, once again, Mortal Kombat is not about death, but it's about life. And more importantly than that, in every game, the storyline is different, but the main storyline is the same. It's about battle and control of the realms. Battle and control of the realms. Fila's YouTube user Filas Portaz, I enjoyed his comedic video commentary of the entire season 1 of Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. However, I hated a lot of his bogus criticisms. The main one being that the bad guys like Khan and them didn't have a point when they invaded the Earth Realm. This is in the title, and it's in the opening titles of Mortal Kombat 2. Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung and Outworld lost in Mortal Kombat 1, the 1995 movie, which this cartoon follows and is an alternate sequel to that movie. Therefore, he cannot enter Earth Realm. You cannot invade Earth Realm unless you win 10 Mortal Kombats. The tournament with Shang Tsung was the 10th one, and they lost. So Shao Kahn instead utilizes his warriors and people like Shang Tsung to invade, conquer, and enslave Earth Realm for him. For the taking, to come in, defeat the Earth Realm warriors there, conquer and enslave it for him. Or, in reminiscent of Mortal Kombat 2, he would occasionally try to lure the Earth Realmers to outworld other Realmers, where they will surely meet death at his or someone else's hand, leaving Earth Realm free for taking. Free to invade and taking, and leaving no one to defend Earth Realm in any future Mortal Kombat tournaments. This utilizes the plot of Mortal Kombat 2 because Shao Kahn still hasn't invaded Earth Realm yet. It follows the events of the 1995 film, and it utilizes various storylines and character designs from Mortal Kombat 3, such as Sub-Zero's Lin Kuei Cyber storyline, Jax's cybernetic arms, Cabal's storyline with Sub-Zero and Cabal's, and Smoke's Smoke especially. Yeah, this cartoon and the Battle of the Realms is the only one to finally get Smoke right. The Malibu comic books and Annihilation kept making Smoke one of the evil warriors, and then later Conquest did too. When that's just not the case. When it's just not the case in the video games. They had Smoke. They had Sub-Zero. Smoke as Sub-Zero's best friend was Sub-Zero, trying to help Smoke remember his humanity and overcome his programming and assist him in the battle. And he does here. And this one gave the character Oniru, the Lin Kuei Elder, gave him a name and gave him more to do in his only appearance. One of the many times this cartoon did something better than its video game counterpart. And just like Street Fighter the animated series, it gave you everyone who appeared in Mortal Kombat 1 through 3 except for 3 to 4 characters. That was Kung Lao, Johnny Cage. Well, I think Kung Lao and Liu Kang in this Mortal Kombat universe, I think they're fused into one character. And in my fan fiction, I find a way to bring Kung Lao back into the story. Same with Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage, it sucks that he's not here, but I think one of the main reasons he's not here, besides the fact that his character was killed off because his live action actor for the video games posed for another video game and was removed from Midway, posed for a rival game, so they were being punished by kind of leaving Johnny Cage out of things. But also I think because you look at it, Johnny Cage is a full-time Hollywood actor. The character Stryker will make more defense, who's his replacement, will make more defense as a Earth-Realm defender than Johnny Cage. Yeah. And just like Street Fighter, despite the camp, doesn't shy away from managed to spotlight each character that was featured at the time. And even though Liu Kang's the main character and the champion of Mortal Kombat, each character gets his or her time to shine throughout this 13-episode series with characters like Jax and Sonya, and Kitana, pretty much going through the most development. This show, one thing I give credit for, when you look at the way Cabal is portrayed as now being always depicted as an evil warrior and part of Shang Tsung or Kano's crew, when that just wasn't the case in the video game. This one has him as the heroic character he was. Yeah, he was originally Black Dragon, but he got horribly maimed by Outworld, and then decided to get revenge on Outworld and the Black Dragon and join the good guys. And then rejoined the bad guys in Deception. That's because the Master of Chaos, Havoc, resurrected him from death and convinced him to reform the Black Dragon. Ever since then, for little explanation, they kept making him a full-time Black Dragon member and trying to make it seem like he was always evil, like Kano. So appreciate this for getting Cabal right. And speaking of that, doing, in my opinion, the best justice to the characters, especially characters like Jax, who in my opinion have been getting the shaft. Jax, something Annihilation, the 1997 Annihilation movie, and the Defenders of the Realm doesn't get credit for, is making Jax a badass. Here in this cartoon, Jax, without his cybernetic arms, defeated Kombat to stand in for Reptile, bested Ermac in a fight, beat numerous Motaro like Centaur, and was cool, charismatic, and just a badass. And back in the days when his cybernetic arms were cybernetic implants placed over his real arms instead of the storyline nowadays where Jax in every version foolishly gets his arms ripped off so much that he has to wear the cybernetics. So yeah, back when Jax wasn't a pussy and a weak SJW that he is now. Yeah, he was improved in Mortal Kombat 11 and Battle of the Realms, but Jax in the NetherRealm era and since then has been terrible and weak. This is the only version to do justice for Stryker. Battle of the Realms finally got Stryker into another Mortal Kombat adaptation, but they brought him in to be a red shirt guy, to be one of the guys to get killed alongside Kung Lao in that movie. This one, Striker, while not as good as the Witch Cult, has a main character role and an important role where his stick closes portals. The coolest and most charismatic version of Raiden is in this cartoon, voiced by the awesome Clancy Brown. And speaking of the voice acting, despite being a low-budget toyetic video game based cartoon, it had an impressive soundtrack. Episode 2 featured actual hard rock music from the bands who performed on the 1995 soundtrack, and characters and superb voice acting. You had the likes of Dorian Harewood and Olivia Bo, who portrayed Jax and Sonya respectively, and actually look like older, middle-aged, now elderly for the Jax character, elderly versions of their cartoon animated counterparts. You got the legendary Cree Summers as an awesome Kitana, Brian Toichi as Liu Kang, Ron Perlman as Striker, Clancy Brown as Raiden, and I think Neil Ross portrays Nightwolf. And the late great Luke Perry from Beverly Hills 90210 is an awesome Sub-Zero. His voice works for Sub-Zero. Luke Perry, the father of pro wrestler Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry. So yeah. And animation-wise, in my opinion, it beats the Street Fighter. It's on par with the Double Dragon and beats the Street Fighter, the animated series. Another thing I like, since it's animated, I always like the idea of Mortal Kombat in live action, but as the anime movie showed, they were always so much better animated, while lacking the long, intense fight scenes that the movies had. It has the fast-paced combo scene in the game, and more importantly, it has the special maneuvers. Something that was unfortunately missing a lot in the live-action films because of budget issues. Here, Shang Tsung, in this appearance here, he fires off multiple flaming skulls, and this is Sub-Zero uses multiple ice blasts. Liu Kang uses at least 2 to 3 fireballs here. Jax uses the ground smash in one of his rockets. Sonya uses her purple ring energy maneuver. Yeah, and several finishing maneuvers like the bicycle kick and the Hurricanrana. So yeah, more special maneuvers here. Easy to animate those. They shoot those in live action with CGI and wires and stuff. Easy to animate those. So yeah, Mortal Kombat, defenders of the realm. Like I said, cartoons like this on this channel, which I feel get unfairly bashed, they will get the respect. They will get the respect you deserve. You don't like this, more power to you, but this goes out to people who unfairly bash it because it's not the M-rated gore fest. Another thing I'm really sick of is people bashing this cartoon based upon lore that came out later in the 2000s, and now that was not in the story at the time, and grading it based upon that. Most of the reviews, I don't see any review from the actual time period. Most of the reviews are from the 2010s onward now. From the 2010s. Then another thing I couldn't stand. Oh yeah, they complained about the hilarious episode 8 Quan Chi's debut. Another thing about this office show, it gave us Quan Chi. I keep forgetting this was Quan Chi's genesis. Quan Chi, in that episode, Quan Chi gave the Mortal Kombat characters a mysterious aura that caused them to be angry and turn on each other, and Jax, earlier in the episode, talks about, where Sonya calls him Blubberbutt, talks about being the fattest kid in school, and they claim how it was cheesy, hanging about Jax being overweight in school. That was character development. That's what that was. That was character development. Speaking of character development, Felix Portas criticizing some. It was character development. It's meant to be a original. Jax was at one time the fattest kid. Look at it. Look at him now. One of Earthrealm's strongest and toughest defenders. Then Sonya, her character constantly shouting out, "It's combat time," and being aggressive and rowdy to fight. There are 2 episodes that focus on her aggressiveness and rowdiness, and then Felix Portas, who criticized her in episode 7 for wanting to give up the fighting. When in every episode she does nothing but want to fight. It's not that she hates fighting, or all of a sudden out of character wants to give up fighting. It's that they do a bunch of fighting. And they're not any closer to saving Earthrealm. Kano, who killed her partner, somehow survived and eluded death thanks to Khan, and got away from Sonya again. So that's why Sonya wanted to retire, because this is fun defending Earthrealm, but they're not getting any closer to actual peace. Then people claim they misuse Scorpion. He's based upon his Mortal Kombat Malibu comic book storyline, where the storyline with Scorpion and Sub-Zero wasn't as strong as it was now, but his Malibu comic book storyline had him feuding with Sub-Zero and had him denied entry into his clan. Denied entry into the afterlife with his clan because he died without honor. Thus, he wants to unleash every dead corpse, including in this version the evilest of dead, Shang Tsung. Even though Scorpion is made his return in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 as the poster boy of Mortal Kombat, him and Sub-Zero's roles were quite brief in Mortal Kombat 3. All Sub-Zero did was help Smoke regain his humanity, overcome his programming, and help him assist him in the battle against Cyrus and Sector, like he did here in this cartoon and other things. And Scorpion, in Mortal Kombat 2, he became Sub-Zero's guardian angel in atonement for killing his older brother. And then in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, he's unleashed from the Netherrealm to be part of Shao Kahn's army. But it turns out one of the warriors opposing Shao Kahn is Sub-Zero. So he turns against Shao Kahn and assists the warriors and goes back to hell, the Netherrealm, until the events of Mortal Kombat 4. Here, in this version, he wants to release all the corpses. Liu Kang defeats him, and Raiden, Sub-Zero deep freezes, and Raiden sends him and his undead corpses back to the realm of lost souls, which is the Netherrealm for this cartoon. And he was going to stay there. I guess he was going to stay there until the events of the 2nd season. So his role was brief, and those who say he got killed off, he didn't die. Jax mentions him being alive in episode 13 when Kitana talks about peace, when Sonya talks about peace and talks about peace, that if they can overthrow Khan, they will be closer to peace. And Jax reminds them, no, they'll start to deal with the Raptors, Reptiles people, and Scorpion. Well, I'm predicting they were planning on reintroducing in seasons 2, which I think would have been Mortal Kombat 3, and especially 4, where Scorpion has a larger role again. So seeing they misutilized Scorpion, it is consistent with the game. Despite being the poster boy of Mortal Kombat, his roles in Mortal Kombat 3, Sub-Zero 2, they were quite brief. And Rain, I think they did Rain here better justice. Rain, according to his reception, was always negatively received. Wasn't that hugely popular despite his cult following, and not much was known about Rain. People criticized Rain's depiction. Not much was known about Rain at the time, except that he was from the same realm as Kitana, and that he was a traitor, which they kept here. They also added the subplot about him being Kitana's fiance. But like I said, that was to introduce more depth for the Rain. And I thought it made Rain cool. I thought Rain Hero was cooler the hero than he was in the video games, and especially Annihilation when he was just wasted. He got to do more here. And going back to the violence and death things, the Mortal Kombat characters, like I said, all the violence and death, it was for what you call it. Everyone barely died in the tournaments and everywhere else. They beat characters, and they beat the characters and went about their business. They didn't like brutally murder anyone. The only people who tried to actually murder, who actually tried to and actually murdered, was Scorpion murdering Sub-Zero in Part 1. Sonya. Oh yeah, and Sonya trying to kill Kano by leg tossing off a building, which Kano somehow survived. Oh yeah, and Kitana cutting off and decapitating Melina. So and the show said, oh, lack of fatalities. The show did have violence and fatalities. Just like the movies, they were toned down. They showed Jax ripping a skeleton to pieces with his arm, Sub-Zero performing the deep freeze twice, the deep freeze fatality, the deep freeze ice shadow fatality twice. They show Liu Kang's pit fatality on Shang Tsung, pit fatality on Shang Tsung in edited form, Sonya's neck snap of Kano in edited form. So and Liu Kang incinerated an anteater monster with the fireball. And yeah, the show is phenomenal. The only issue I have with the show is if they ended the show way too soon. There was never an episode where Khan was permanently brought to justice or killed. In the final episode, they saved Earthrealm, but they failed to free Kitana's homeworld Edenia from Khan, which I'm pretty sure would have been resolved in the season 2, which the show did not get. And that's another thing, that they still had games at the time. They had the rest of Mortal Kombat 3 to adapt for Season 2 and the Mortal Kombat 4, which I think they would have stopped. In my fan fiction, I go all the way to Mortal Kombat 7. So, yeah, this was my rant on haters of Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. You don't like this cartoon, more power to you, but this goes out to all the people who unfairly bash this cartoon. And once again, for those, one guy who I went off on for accusing me of being a nostalgic, looking at it with nostalgic glasses, it was the total opposite. I watched The Witcher's review, then watched the episode in chronological order in Gano, and was pleasantly surprised by the show. Way better than I gave it credit for. And I like and appreciate even more now that I understand Mortal Kombat lore. Now I'm surprised, just like with Street Fighter Double Dragon, they got that much for video games that didn't have that big of a lore, or storyline at the time. And writing-wise, consider this and many of the other adaptations in the 90s to be way better than the NetherRealm garbage. Which NetherRealm garbage is entertaining, but story and writing-wise, I consider it to be atrocious, which I'm going to be ranting on and talking about in another video. So yeah, this was my review of Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. The previous one I did as the Douglas Bill Roberts YouTube social media personality character will be uploaded with this one. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like just being dead. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happened. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn let my money go. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never run. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never run. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and you like do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and you like do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things